Level 1. The Kid. You are 7 years old and you are playing in the street with a ball that is slightly deflated because nobody has remembered to pump it up in 3 weeks. It doesn't matter. You play with it anyway. You play until your mother calls you in for dinner, and then you play a little longer pretending you didn't hear her. The other kids on the street are faster than you right now. Some of them are bigger. None of that matters either, because you have noticed something about yourself that you cannot fully explain yet. When the ball comes to you, something happens that doesn't happen to the other kids. Something clicks. Something feels right in a way that is difficult to put into words, but impossible to ignore. Your father takes you to watch a match at the local stadium. You are sitting in the stands, and the noise is unlike anything you have ever experienced. 40,000 people making a sound that goes through your chest. And on the pitch below there is a player. He receives the ball with his back to goal, and in one movement he turns and shoots, and the ball curves into the top corner, and the stadium erupts, and you are on your feet. Without knowing, you stood up. You look at your father. He is smiling. You turn back to the pitch, and you think, I want to do that. Not kind of want. Not one day, maybe. You want it with every single cell in your body, and you already know that this wanting is different from every other wanting you have ever felt. You go home and you practice in the garden until it is dark. You practice the turn. You practice the shot. You miss the garden wall entirely 17 times. The 18th time you hit it perfectly, and the sound it makes is everything. Level 2. The Academy Player. You are 11 years old. A scout watched you play in a local tournament last month, and now you are standing outside a professional football club's training ground with your parents and a bag that contains your boots, your shin pads, and a change of clothes. Everything feels very serious. Everything feels very real. The academy is different from anything you have experienced before. The coaching is precise. The sessions have structure. You learn things about the game that you didn't know. How to receive the ball at an angle so you can see the pitch. How to press as a unit. How to read a defender's weight and know which way they are going to move before they move. You are learning a language you didn't know existed, but you also learn something harder. You are no longer the best player in the room. In your street, you are exceptional. In this room, there are 20 boys your age, and several of them are exceptional too. One of them is so clearly more gifted than everyone else that the coaches speak about him in a different tone. You watch him and you understand for the first time that talent exists on a spectrum you have not yet seen the top of. You are released at 13. 2 years of work, and then a letter, and then a conversation with your parents in the car where nobody says very much. You cry that night. You don't sleep. You decide the next morning that you are going to prove them wrong. You don't know how yet. You just know that the feeling you had at 7 years old in the garden hitting the wall perfectly has not gone anywhere. It is still there, and it is still real, and you are going to follow it, wherever it goes. Level 3. The Youth Team Player. You are 17. Another club. A smaller one. But you are in the youth system, and you are playing, and the work you put in after being released at 13 has compounded into something. Your technical ability is better than it was. Your physical development has caught up to where it needed to be. You are fast now in a way you weren't before. You sign your first contract. Not much money. Enough to feel significant. You show your parents the piece of paper and your mother takes a photo of it. You put it on the wall next to your bed. You look at it every morning before you get up. The youth team plays real matches against other clubs. You score your first competitive goal in a pre-season friendly. It is a tap-in from 2 yards. It doesn't matter. You run to the corner flag and you celebrate like it is the World Cup final. Because for you in this moment, it is. Your teammates celebrate with you. This is what belonging feels like. This is what you have been working for since you were 7 years old, in the street with the deflated ball. But you also understand now what this road actually costs. The boy who had the most natural talent in your first academy. The one the coaches spoke about differently. You heard he was released at 15. You think about this sometimes. Talent is not enough. You knew that at 13 when you made the decision in the morning. You are proving it every day. Level 4. The Reserve. You are 20. You have a professional contract. Your name is on the team sheet every week, but it is on the wrong part of it. You are on the bench, or you are in the stands. You are close enough to smell it, but not close enough to touch it, and this specific distance is its own kind of torture. You watch the first team train. You watch the players who have what you want. You study how they move, how they think, how they handle the moments that matter. There is a striker in the first team who has been playing professionally for 12 years. He is not as talented as you might have expected. What he has, instead of talent, is certainty. He knows exactly what he is going to do before the ball arrives. He has removed hesitation from his game entirely. You spend months working on this specific thing. Not the skill, the certainty. Your chance comes in a cup match, 63rd minute. The manager looks at you and tells you to warm up. You have done this warm-up 40 times this season, and it has never meant anything before. This time it means everything. You come on and you touch the ball and it feels strange. Too much adrenaline, too much thinking. You give the ball away twice in the first 5 minutes, and you can feel the crowd's impatience. Then in the 71st minute, the ball drops to you 8 yards from goal and you don't think. You just hit it. It goes in. You don't celebrate immediately. You stand there for 1 second processing what just happened. Then the noise of the stadium reaches you and your body takes over. After the game, the manager says 2 sentences to you. He says, "Good goal." He says, "Be ready." You go home and you cannot sleep, and you don't want to, because you don't want this feeling to end. Level 5. The professional. You are 23 and you are a first-team regular. Your name is in the starting lineup week after week. Your face is on the club's social media. People stop you in the street now. Children ask for your shirt. This happened for the first time 6 months ago and you still haven't completely got used to it, and you're not sure you want to completely get used to it, because the part of you that still finds it surprising is the part of you that still remembers the street and the deflated ball. The money has changed your life in ways you are still processing. Not extravagantly. You are not at that level yet. But you bought your parents a house, and that specific moment, handing your mother the keys, is something you have thought about since you were 11 years old, standing outside the academy with your boots in a bag. That moment was everything you imagined it would be, and more. The pressure is something nobody prepares you for completely. Every game matters in ways that accumulate. A bad run of form means your name in the newspapers in ways that are not kind. You learn to not read them. You learn to control what you can control and let the rest go. This is easier to say than to do. You are still learning. You get your first call-up to the national team. You sit in the changing room with players you have watched on television since you were a child, and you have to remind yourself that you are supposed to be here, that you earned this. The first time you pull on the national jersey and stand in the tunnel, listening to the anthem, you feel something that has no word in any language you know. It is bigger than pride. It is bigger than happiness. It is something that connects you to every version of yourself that existed before this moment. Level 6. The Star. You are 27. Top club. Champions League football. Your transfer fee was a number that appeared on news websites around the world. Your shirt sells in countries you have never visited. You are not just a footballer now. You are a brand, a symbol, a face that means something to people who have never seen you play. The football is the best part. It is still the best part. The training sessions with the best players in the world. The matches in the biggest stadiums under the brightest lights. The moments when everything goes right and the ball does exactly what you intend it to do and 50,000 people react in the same split second. These are the moments you play for. These are the moments that justify everything. But the life around the football has become something you manage rather than something you live. The security, the social media, the press conferences, where every word is measured before it leaves your mouth. The relationships complicated by fame in ways that are difficult to explain to anyone who hasn't experienced it. You have people around you whose job is to manage aspects of your existence. This is both a privilege and a strange kind of loss of something you cannot quite name. You win the league title. You lift a trophy in front of your supporters, and the noise is the same noise you heard at 7 years old in the stands with your father. The same noise that went through your chest. 40,000 people making a sound together for you, for your team. You look up into the stands, and somewhere up there is everything you have ever wanted, and you have it, and you know it, and it is real. Level 7. The legend. You are 34. The World Cup is happening and you are in it. Not just in it. You are one of the players the tournament is built around. The cameras find you in the tunnel before matches. The commentators say your name differently from how they say other names. An entire generation of children are wearing your number on their back in countries that speak languages you don't speak. The final is played in a stadium that holds 90,000 people, and another billion are watching on screens around the world. You have been building toward this specific night since you were 7 years old. Everything connects. The street, the deflated ball, the release at 13, the morning decision, the bench, the cup goal, the keys to your parents' house, the tunnel, the trophy, all of it leading to this pitch on this night in this stadium under these lights. The match goes to extra time. Your legs are heavy. They have been heavy for months, and you have been playing through it, because this is the World Cup, and you will play through anything to be here. In the 104th minute, you receive the ball 30 yards from goal. You have a defender in front of you, and you do the thing you have been doing since you were 7 years old. You turn, and you shoot, and the ball curves into the top corner, and the stadium makes a sound you have heard once before in your life. The same sound, the first sound, the sound that started everything. You win. 90 minutes later, you are standing on a stage and someone is putting a gold medal around your neck, and someone else is handing you the World Cup trophy, and it is heavier than you expected, and lighter than everything you carried to get here. You look out at the stadium. You think about the 7-year-old in the garden hitting the wall on the 18th try. You think about your father smiling in the stands. You think about the morning you decided to prove them wrong. You hold the trophy up, and somewhere right now, a 7-year-old is kicking a ball in the street. The ball is slightly deflated. They don't notice. Something clicks when it comes to them. Something that doesn't click for everyone. They don't have the words for it yet. They just know it feels different. They just know they want more of it. And that wanting is the beginning of everything.